No, send everyone to space and give them a marijuana leaf, like marijuana bud. Everyone.
They should grow marijuana on Mars, dude. It'll be the best.
Problem
plan.
solved.
Yeah. It's not illegal on Mars, right?
Exactly. Hi guys, welcome to the third episode of Conversation Society. Today we got finally all the equipment ready, and today we got my good old friend from Games Art, third year, Will or William.
Yeah.
How do you?
Whatever,
Will I am.
Willie, whatever, man. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, welcome. Well, we just started the conversation about hair, so right off the bat, I don't know if it's like a taboo or like stereotype or whatnot, but I've seen a lot of people like in games art or whoever is into games dyeing their hair.
Oh yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I don't know, man. I've never dyed my hair, but I guess I don't know, just
It's like
cool.
trendy stuff, or
Yeah, everyone wants to look like an anime character, maybe. I don't know.
fair enough. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, it's quite a few people. Yeah,
Cool.
it's a games art thing. you got to be in games art if you want to dye your hair.
Yeah, games. Yeah, the colored hair and then like strap shoulder bag, like that's
yeah.
usually like what I've seen so far. But yeah, dude. Well, congrats on finishing your hand in.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah.
Feels good, man. It's about a week ago.
No, man.
Yeah.
You had good time to rest and whatnot.
Yeah, just relax. Just the pressure's off.
Yeah. Oh, you still have your final degree, right?
Yeah, well, I've got the degree show and like the graduation ceremony.
All right. Yeah.
But otherwise, man, just keep my feet back a little bit.
There you go.
Start thinking about real work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, so well, how would you categorize your? How can I say that? Like your specialty in games art, like because there's like few kind of sections and
Yeah, so
development and whatnot.
I think like the nice thing about the NUA course at least is that
Mhm.
like you can sort of choose your own path, and like you've got like your main like three categories which you
Okay.
can sort of get into. So the one is just like game design,
Mhm.
which is like designing all the systems, how games work, and gameplay and all that kind of stuff. And then the next one is like 3D art, which is sort of like environment art, character, asset production, so all the 3D stuff
Mhm.
that gets in the game world. And then like the other one is 2D art or concept art and that sort of thing, and that's what I'm interested in.
Okay, so
So-
like the idea behind the game.
Yeah, so concept art is like the word concept, it's like it just means idea basically. So
Yeah.
it's ideas art. So it's the kind of initial stage of planning how you want things to look, how you want things to feel visually.
Okay.
And that's what I'm interested in. That's
Nice.
what, yeah.
Have you yeah, there's another thing. There's a gaming festival right at the forum coming soon.
Yeah, there is. I think it's next week. Oh man, I don't know the dates.
Yeah.
But it's very soon. I think it's next week actually.
Is there anything you're looking forward to? Like, do you know much of what's happening?
Yeah, so usually they have like some stalls where they have like indie game developers
Okay.
from around Norwich and some from other places that come in. Like the games they've been working on are open for the public to come and play and stuff like
Mhm.
that. There's like they do a few talks, so people related to like the games and media industry come in and like just talk about what those industries are like for
Yeah.
people who know or don't know. And and I think the university does some stuff there as well. So like I think they help organize the whole event.
I think
So-
if I'm not like I think I saw like that the games art the whole course like won some award or something.
Oh yeah. So in the past, I can't remember what month it was. It was like in November last year.
Yeah.
They were
It's
they were given-
2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was award for 2017. The best games art course in the UK. Basically, it's a Tiger Award.
Okay.
And Tiger is just like a sort of a body or like sort of like a body that sort of manages games related education and stuff. And
Alright.
I'm not sure if they do industry stuff as well, but I know it's actually, let me look it up. It's got like
Alright.
Tiger actually means something. TIGA.
Easy.
Tiger games. Let's see.
I was searching for that somehow.
More ASMR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tiger representing the games industry. I'm on the website right now.
All right.
Yeah, it's just UK games industry stuff. But yeah, we won the award for the best games art sort of course, which is really nice. I think it's a good course, and you know, obviously it feels good. You know, got a best course in the UK, man. Yeah.
All right. ASMR. So let's kind of wind back up.
Yeah.
How did you get to know? I don't know. How did you decide or heard of Norwich or?
Well, I didn't like in the beginning. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. Let's say, okay, let's go back to like high school, right?
Yeah.
Because that's when I was starting to get into art, right? So I did A-level art, and at the time it was the only subject that I was really like interested in. Like I did physical education, maths, and biology, and I was just, oh man, I was struggling with maths and biology. But I was enjoying art. It was like the only exam that I wasn't like fully like stressing out about.
Yeah, just chill.
Yeah, and so I just thought, man, you know, maybe I could like do this, right? Do art, but I didn't really think about like the games industry or entertainment design or anything. Like that. But you know, eventually I sort of discovered it through like one of my favorite games. Like they had a bonus disc. It was Mass Effect, actually, like everyone's favorite game. And they had the bonus concept art disc, and I was like, oh, okay. So I just googled concept art courses, whatever.
It turns out to be an actual thing.
Yeah. There was a few places that I sort of applied to in the UK, but then I think in the end I ended up coming to NUA because actually I had some advice from a friend who said, you know, Norwich looks like a good place to go.
Okay.
And also,
did you come to the open days?
I'd actually never been.
No.
I was kind of like, I applied really late as well.
Okay.
I applied through clearing, which means like, you know, it's like a couple of months before.
Yeah.
uni
So it
starts.
wasn't like the first the first 5 choices of UCAS.
No.
The other stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah, I had my 5 UCAS choices, but like I applied the month before September, so it was like in August or whatever. So it was just like, you know, if I was lucky, I was just crossing my fingers, like, you know, might as
Thank
well.
God, man.
Yeah, dude, I feel like I was super lucky,
Yeah.
super blessed, but like, yeah, like I actually had my interview over the phone because you know, I was like that stuff was done. So I thought I had a good interview as well with like my course leader and all that. So I was like,
fair.
Yeah.
Because I had my interview over Skype. I had to send them my like a PowerPoint of my work. And so they were like both like, I don't know who was interviewing me, I can't remember, but like they were going through the slides and I was going through the slides on my end, and I was like, oh, so what is this work about? Well, you know, I was looking at the themes of this and that, and I don't know, like looking back to like my artwork back in high school, man, it's so cringy.
Is it very different now? Is it like?
Yeah, I mean, like the themes have completely changed.
Yeah.
Still, you know, there's some similarities here and there, but yeah, definitely uni is worth it.
Yeah, I think I've changed a little bit, like.
Okay.
But not too much, actually.
All right. Yeah.
I'm still kind of down the same track. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because like there are some people who like from first year to third year they don't look alike at all. There's some people who drastically change, which is a good thing for them, I guess, as long as, you know, whatever floats their boat.
Yeah, no, I think like. Sometimes people feel like if you change, then that's like a bad thing.
Yeah.
Or some other people think if changing is like the only way to go. But like, you know, it's okay to stay true, and it's also okay to like develop your taste and stuff.
Yeah. Broadening your
yeah.
I don't know, broadening stuff. And yeah, you're also in All Saints, the first generation.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, good times, man. That was like brand new hall, student halls, right? Yeah, it was pretty nice actually. Yeah. I was glad I was in there. I was really lucky as well, especially since like.
Were you in B block or C block?
C block.
A. Yeah.
You were in A.
A0.
Yeah,
did A0 room number 1. Yeah. So like the first of
first. The very first. That's cool, man. Number 1.
No idea how that I got chosen like that, but it was well nice. Yeah. And a lot of people who are now in All Saints don't remember the days when, like, remember like the first month or so when there were still works being finished.
Oh yeah,
Oh man, like
builders,
digging and
dude, there were
everything.
builders right outside my window, dude.
I
could,
swear.
like, see them.
I mean, fair enough. Like I don't. It's not their fault.
No, I guess not.
But Jesus, it was good to wake up.
Like some of the stuff, like every now and then you'd have like the kitchen hubs like just turning off for some reason. But yeah, otherwise, I think as far as student halls go, they were alright.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I've never been to the other halls.
Wait, what do you mean, like the other?
Beechcraft and what's the third one? Something on
Is
H.
there a third one?
Is there?
I don't know. I don't know. I just knew.
Oh well. More information on NUA accommodation. Go check out nua.ac.uk. But and plus, like what, 15 minutes walk max away from you.
Yeah, right next to the bus stop.
Yeah, as well. I remember like having to, when I had to like travel and whatnot, just cross the street, boom, get to the bus. But yeah, what else?
Dude, I remember one time like coming from the train station, right? And like obviously I had these big bags and I didn't want to like carry them down the road, so I went like to the shopping center, like stole a trolley and just like carried the trolley across town basically with my bag. That was great.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, you put in the pound, or was it just laying?
I think I put it in a pound, but like the thing is like in my in like the kitchen area or whatever.
Right.
Like there were like 4 trolleys at one point.
Everyone was
just
bringing
like,
stuff.
Trolleys,
Yeah.
like, yeah. So I think I just took one of those. So,
Oh man. Well, that was another thing, like, cause my room was right next to YMCA, where that gate is. So on weekends when people would be coming back drunk, that was like a spectacle. Just get popcorn, sit in front of the window, and just look at people bringing random stuff and
people outside.
Yeah.
Making noise and shit.
Well,
Like
it's all
like when you were
it's all part of student life, I guess. But it was also good, like having all the services and then that little common room with the TV. Like at the beginning, at the beginning, fair enough till you meet people and whatnot. But once you get the crew and whatnot, then it's really chill. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I feel like I should have used those TVs more, man.
Yeah, it was like, go alright. Moment of silence. Oh yes. Oh man. Going like a bit now to the future now, like industry-wise. I guess you're kind of in a safe spot because there's always going to be like room for game artists and whatnot. Have you looked at any internships or what's your plan? To what extent has the uni prepared you for the next step?
So yeah, I think the uni's been like obviously encouraging us like as third years to sort of get our stuff together. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
we've got like our most of us have our CVs together.
Okay.
And like we've got staff there to support us through that kind of thing. But yeah, I've been looking at like jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, man. Like, I think we've been well prepared, but that like the games industry, it's like a lot of people are interested in it as well.
Are interested or not interested?
Are interested.
Okay.
Like I think it's the same with like a lot of different industries nowadays because like a lot of people have the opportunity to find out about these things, to study these things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it means like it's a little more. There's like a lot of people sort of competing for the same job. But the good thing is like in the UK and stuff like that, there's places to go. And stuff like that. Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to see after my hand in. Fraser, Patrick, and I, my housemates, we like started looking on games on Steam like for free and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
And there's this game which like, I mean I played it just before I came here. Is Paladins.
Paladins, I've heard of it.
It's literally Overwatch but for free.
I know the one. Actually, know the one.
Yeah, and like one of the first things we were like saying when we were playing, when we started like, getting to the game, was like how the they didn't get like sued by Overwatch because everything is the same.
The same kind of art style.
Yeah, the scoring, the layout, the blue and red team, types of matches, everything is the same. But fair enough, they made it work.
Yeah, I was actually playing Overwatch yesterday.
Yeah. It feels good just to like shoot people. I'm not encouraging any shooting of people.
Hey, it's cartoon violence, right?
Yeah. It's just a game.
Yeah, there's no blood. So it's good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, this might be a bit controversial topic. Like, do you think games
Games of violence?
promote violence and
Nah, man. I think.
Alright.
Like,
For the older listeners, listen up.
well, like someone can probably like cite me or something. Yeah, but I'm sure like studies have been done that show that games don't directly increase people's violence or anything like that.
There are other factors that.
Yeah, man. It's other stuff. It's like I think it's like movies and entertainment. People don't always say movies make you more violent or anything like that. But no, I don't think they do. It's like, you're detached from it a bit. You know what I mean?
That would be like saying, "Oh, I just watched the whole Fast and Furious franchise, and I'm going to start drifting around the streets and endanger pedestrians and whatnot."
Think about it. Like most people have watched the movie Fast and Furious, right?
Yeah.
But it's not most people who are gonna go and do that with their cars, right?
No.
It's like people who are already in that, like in a certain type of environment in real life. Maybe they really love cars.
Yeah.
Maybe they're into that sort of thing already. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think games will make you violent at all.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm stressful or whatnot, like, or if I want to like just kill brain cells, I'll just play Minecraft.
Yeah. You're gonna kill brain cells in Minecraft. Oh.
Dude, yeah, honestly, like I would just turn my brain off and for 4 or 5 hours.
If you played a lot of Minecraft, it's not a game I've played that much. I've
Yeah.
played a lot, but I was just like,
Well, I'm more like I'm a wimp when it comes to like playing Minecraft, because like I never went to Nether because I'm afraid of it. I just like to dig, play some blocks.
yeah, dude, Minecraft.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
There you go.
Yeah.
But
I'm the same. I like chill games.
yeah, like
It's like relaxing.
people say like it's not a proper game. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, question, right? Games such as Minecraft, right? Would you consider that as a real game or just like a filler stuff?
Well, it depends what you mean by real. Like,
Yeah, because like people would say
people-
like if there's a storyline to be followed, then that's a kind of real hardcore game.
okay.
Um,
If it's more competitive multiplayer or something. Like
well, yeah, there's different categories, isn't there? Just strategies and different indies and whatnot. What's your favorite game?
that. Ooh. Man, I've got
It's
my
like
top,
asking an alcoholic
I've
what's
got
your favorite beer.
I've got like my top 5.
Okay,
But yeah, they're all like really, I think probably pretty average choices.
fair enough.
But, like I like games with a lot of like atmosphere.
Okay,
I mean, like it's when I can feel immersed.
like Destiny maybe.
I don't like Destiny.
I don't know. I just yeah.
No, but let's see. My top 5 would probably be Mass Effect.
Okay,
Because it's like it had a lot of.
it got you into uni.
So I have to say that. It's just good too.
Yeah, fair enough.
The Witcher, I think that's
Ooh,
like.
which one?
Well, The Witcher 3 is probably the best game.
Yeah,
The 3, but like the whole The Witcher universe is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like the books and stuff. Are quite
the open world, everything.
Yeah. Just they did a good job with that. Really like one of my most nostalgic games is like
Mhm.
a PS1 game called Dino Crisis.
Don't
And
know
I'd be
yet.
surprised if anyone knows about that. but,
Alright.
like,
I'll try to Google it and put
yeah.
it
Do
in
you
the
know?
image.
Do you know what Resident Evil is like?
Is,
The original Resident Evil 1.
is it like zombies kind of stuff? Yeah.
It's kind of that sort of style, like sort of slow paced, but like
Uh-huh.
investigative, like survival horror. Kind of.
All right.
So it's like you've got a little bit of ammo, you've got to manage that. There's dinosaurs.
Okay, so
gotta
you
fight
need to use brain.
Yeah.
It's not just guns blazing.
Yeah, and it's like it's got like fixed cameras, so every shot is sort of cinematic and like.
Oh,
Yeah.
and that was in PS1.
PS1.
Jesus.
This is good old days, man. I was too young to play that game. I was like 7 years old. It
Yeah.
was like 15 plus game. It had like violence and gore. Yeah, see, there's another like I played that game when I was like 7, right?
Yeah.
It had all this like dead people everywhere, but it was like I don't.
It turned out to be fine. Yeah.
I think someone else can judge me whether I'm fine or not. But like yeah.
All right, so that's third
That's
on the list. Yeah.
The other ones are. Well, I really liked Halo at the time. Like
Halo.
Halo.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's a bit of a generic choice, that one.
Fair enough.
But, like, at the time, I think I was, like, 14 or something. And
Yeah.
that's when I started getting into PC gaming and I started playing Halo. And I was
Okay.
like, man, this game is cool, man. Oh, Master Chief is so cool. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. I really like that.
Yeah, I never
The
played
multiplayer
Halo.
is good, though.
I never played Halo, man. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, it's like,
Was it only on Xbox or?
yes. Well,
Because I was always a PS guy.
the first two is a Microsoft game, so
Okay.
the first two were on PC, and then the rest are just on Xbox.
Okay.
So it's like I hate it when there's exclusive games, because it means
Yeah.
all the cool games I want to play, I have to spend $1 million if I want to play.
$1 million, yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's four. The fifth one is the one that I allow to change all the time.
Okay, like a open end.
Yeah, depending on how I'm feeling. But I think I've always really liked Deus Ex, if you know that game or that franchise.
What's it called again?
It's like a cyberpunk game, Deus Ex.
No, I know
So-
DayZ,
No,
but
it's
it's different.
I think like it's Deusex. So
Alright.
It's like based off some Greek meaning. I think it means something. to do with
Alright.
God.
Some.
Deus
Uh-huh.
Ex. But yeah, no, it's like a cyberpunk game,
Alright.
and like it sort of explores like the paranoia of like the Illuminati in the future being able to control people through
Jeez.
technology. And that kind
Okay.
of stuff. It's cool, man. I like
Yeah.
it. It's kind of it's a game that knows like its art style as well.
Mhm.
I think, because I think they have very good like visual design
Alright.
and like just an interesting angle to come at things from.
Uh-huh.
You know, because like your character is like he works for a corporation himself, so
Mhm.
he's like a corporate spy.
Oh.
But then he's kind of trying to save the day, be a good guy sort of thing.
Alright.
But it's cool because it explores interesting stuff to do with like what it means to be human, and like like what are the limits of like what you can do to your body and how that will affect.
Okay.
I like all that deep stuff, man.
Well, yeah. Well.
Stuff I'm not educated enough to properly understand. But, like, I still like it.
But then that's definitely like a good thing to keep. Keep your.
Yeah, actually,
keep a
Deus
mind
Ex
on, yeah.
means a god from a machine. Deus Ex Machina. That's the.
All right.
That reminds me of that movie, Ex Machina. Have you watched that?
Nah.
Ah, good movie. Top 10
Yeah.
movies. Yeah.
I will definitely put it down on the list. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Those
because
are my games.
definitely like I think
I'd say from your like initial question, like they're probably proper games or whatever,
Yeah,
like game
right.
games, because they have like developed stories and like that kind of thing.
mm.
But yeah,
and
I think every game is a game, to be honest. Like there's a lot
yeah,
of potential, like creative potential.
it's just
in games.
entertainment, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
So as long as you're entertained, then that's a game.
Mm.
Like I play Sudoku and I'm entertained.
Oh my gosh, man.
No, but to be honest with you, I think Sudoku is way of life, man.
Is it?
Like I have played so much that I think you can like apply it as some sort of philosophy.
Whoa.
I swear, man.
That's cool. I'd love to hear about that actually. That would make a good essay for your games art degree if you do it.
No, but I think there's there's this meme of this woman saying like playing Sudoku is like being a gamer or something. I don't know.
I mean, it is a game, isn't it?
It is. Well,
Because like board games actually count as part of
Oh,
games art design.
board games.
Yeah,
Yeah. I think there's like even Monopoly now on computer as well. You can play
Really?
on.
On a computer?
Yeah.
I think
On
like
Steam
the
or
funny
something.
thing is like some of my tutors, they was like, oh, Monopoly, like that's the worst board game because it's like probably I don't know, maybe it's too popular or maybe it's like because that's the game that everyone thinks about when they think of
Yeah.
board games or something.
Well, I was like too young when I had Monopoly, so I was just like playing with the money, not
Yeah,
even
man.
caring about like the little houses and whatnot.
Dude, my favorite bit was like having like the little objects you move around the
Yeah,
board.
little
always
characters.
I always wanted the car, you know.
Broom, broom. I'm in my mom's car. But yeah, another thing I wanted to ask you was when you're developing or coming up with the concept or making the games, how much of your personal side do you put in the game,
Well,
or do you try to be as disattached as possible?
well, okay, I'll talk from like some of the games I've made before.
Okay.
I've made a couple of games. Although I wouldn't say I'm like much of a like designer. Like
Right.
I'm usually more of an artist.
Like in your work, I guess.
Yeah. So I think when I made my first game in second year for like that unit, like I did try to make it kind of personal.
Alright.
So like, or it is stuff to do with like what I'm familiar with or what people from where I come from, Zimbabwe, would be able to understand or whatever.
Like resonate with.
Yeah, so I sort of did something to do with like the landscape when I made a little 2D game, and it's like your character's a diamond miner, and there's a lot of diamond mining in Zimbabwe, but there's also a lot of diamond mining issues.
Okay.
You know, like political issues, money scandals, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what the game was about.
Okay.
Yeah. So you just play as a little diamond miner character that goes and like picks up diamonds and stuff. So there was two characters, and like one was a normal miner, one was like a big businessman guy. And, like,
Okay.
you know, yeah, they have different powers basically, and
Damn.
it's supposed to be like.
Is there anywhere I could play this?
Yeah, you know you can actually if you want. I've just got a copy like on my computer.
Okay.
Actually, I uploaded a little video on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is I think I saw Tom Ellis's he has like Art Stack or some website or something where he's like puts like screenshots of his stuff that he did.
Oh,
Do you have-
ArtStation, yeah.
Yeah, ArtStation, that's the one. Do you have like something equivalent?
Yeah, I've got ArtStation as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got ArtStation, Instagram, DeviantArt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like me to put it? Yeah, link it up. You know.
Yeah, you can just like check the links in the description if like you can check out what kind of stuff I do.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice, me.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Well, yeah.
Shout
Well, that's one of the things with this conversation society is to try to get people to network and whatnot.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Have you got any like funny stories from accommodation back in All Saints or
Oh my god.
or
I have the funniest story, dude.
Alright, go ahead.
I don't know if you were there or not that time, but do you remember there was this one night, like I think it was pretty late. It was like 2 a.m. in the morning,
Uh-huh.
and like you know, the fire alarms go off, and like everyone gets kicked out the building. And it's like really
Was it when the fire trucks came?
Yeah, the fire trucks.
Okay.
The fire people. The fire
Yeah,
people
yeah.
came and all that. Yeah, that was me.
Was
I
it
started that fire. Oh shit. Yeah.
by accident or?
Yeah, by accident. So like, I think I was working, right?
Alright.
I was just at my computer drawing some pictures.
Mm.
I was like, you know what, I'm hungry. So I was like, I'll just put on something easy to cook. I'll just chuck some eggs on to boil for a couple of minutes.
Oh.
Chuck some eggs in the pot, right? I was like, I'll come back 5 minutes. Went back to my room, kept on drawing. Like, it's like an hour later. I just heard the fire alarm go off and I was like, oh, shit. Immediately I knew what happened. I was like, shit, dude. Then like I looked in the corridor, there was smoke starting to fill up the corridor. Like the security guy, like as I got out of my room, he got into the building. He was like, "Everybody get out!" I was like, "Fuck, dude."
Did like Doyle catch on fire?
No, it was just smoke. The pot itself actually melted. Like the pot, like the eggs exploded. There was like bits of egg around the room. It like stank of egg for like a week later.
Jesus. I mean, I heard
But
like.
everyone was alright. I was feeling real bad though, but everyone was
Jeez.
okay.
I mean, I heard like a similar story. I didn't know it was you who got
I never
involved.
told my mom about this. So.
Alright, Mom, skip this section.
What happened?
I heard that like I don't know who I asked, but somebody told me it was like some guy got high and went to make eggs.
Shit. Is that what the story was?
I mean, that was like a story that I heard, but if you were just drawing, then fair enough.
That's hilarious, man. Now I was just drawing. I was 100% sober. I was like, oh man, it's funny. It was really funny.
No man, well, yeah. I mean, we had like a similar thing. There's this girl in my block, who I don't know, like you would like barely see her outside of her room, and she when she cooked, she made like 'cause she's from I think Hong Kong or something, so she would always make some like traditional like Chinese Hong Kong dishes, and one time she forgot, and and so my room was just across the kitchen, right?
Oh no.
And I could smell something stinking, like burning stink kind of stuff. I enter my room, like I think Fahim or Patrick got out as well, because there are rooms next to me as well. And as I entered the kitchen, just smoke. It was like hot boxed and stank like crazy. I immediately just ran to open up windows and stuff. I have no idea why the alarm didn't go off, and turned off the stove, which was like 1,000 degrees and whatnot. And then
I'm surprised the fire alarm didn't go off earlier in my building as well. Cause like
I have no idea.
Like
But then sometimes it would.
sometimes they're really sensitive.
Sometimes it would turn off without any reason. I remember for him when he was vaping, he was just like changing the coils in the vape or something, and just from that it started the alarm.
Oh, that's annoying.
Yeah. And then going back to the
But they like replaced the alarms in the building a couple, like at least
well,
once.
we had those like every week, those checks as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully by now, I haven't been in All Saints since
Since way back when.
since we moved out. Yeah, but oh well. I think there's like I think there's few more like. I'm not sure if the staff has changed, but I'm not sure. No.
I don't know.
Oh, and also like
It's only been 2 years, right?
yeah,
No, not that
but
old
it feels
yet.
like ages ago. But what's called also the reading room on the 8th floor as well.
That was a cool place.
That was like
Good view. You could see the whole.
yeah. I wish like I had used it more. I mean, I did use like the final like
Few days, whatever.
yeah, hand in stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of isolating, but
There was such a good space.
yeah.
That would have been a good space to do podcasts in, actually.
Dude,
I
yes.
know, right?
Yeah, I mean, we got this.
Yeah. Oh, look at that
Rainy
beautiful
weather.
English grey sky.
Yeah.
Nice.
But oh well. Hopefully for next year. I don't know.
Let's start after that painting.
It's
It
similar.
reminds me of something. I can't remember.
There's what's his name, Mondrian guy.
Oh shit, yeah.
Plus like when I take
Never
notes,
saw that
I
guy.
usually like do it like in little sections. So this is yeah. I think we also
Original.
talked about like there's this segment I thought of like breaking the myth of broke artist, but like it's still up like yeah we kind of talked
I
about
mean, like that's always a tough one because like
it.
it really depends like on you as a person. Like how hard are you willing to work, and you know,
Yeah.
are you gonna take those opportunities and you know,
Mm.
that kind of thing. Like being a broke artist right now myself, it's
Yeah.
you know like I know there's a lot of things I can do, especially nowadays like where you know I can like advertise myself online and like you know
Yeah.
and even then like it doesn't always have to be about like you know making money and stuff like that, you know what I mean? But it's just like it's a mentality, right?
Yeah. Well, I
It
think
doesn't matter if you're broken artist, like the mentality of being an artist will make you an artist, if that makes sense. And then you won't have to.
yeah, fair enough. And then I also think like at the start of career we like need to volunteer, not volunteer, but just like build a portfolio. No matter
Yeah,
what
man.
you do, just
Yeah,
getting involved.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the mentality of being an artist is like you just want to do the work. You do it good. You do it like meaningful to you and other people and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
And, like,
documenting it
yeah,
along the way as well.
yeah, you just be an artist first, and then you know, the rest of it will come later.
Cool.
Yeah.
And I thought like to copy the hot ones, the hottest to show the hottest wings, with Sean Evans, to like go over like Instagram and to kind of give a little description of what's the image is about and whatnot.
Yeah, Instagram.
Yeah. Like your artistic one if you have one or something.
I did. My Instagram is like I just post like you know like fun little sketches and stuff like that.
Fair enough.
My cool stuff. All my cool stuff is on my art station.
Okay, art station. Okay, should we take a look on your art station?
Yeah, man.
Alright.
If you want, let's do that.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
get some of that exposure buck. That's the only form of payment I accept is exposure.
Boom. Bow, bow.
Yeah, that's one
Dude, I should get a soundboard with those like pew, pew, horns like Doritos. Like it's hot. This is the thing, man. Like I spent so much time watching memes and I try not to laugh in those type of videos. I think that's like those videos help me through the handed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, like just watching like stand-up comedians as well, just to get some like humor in my life. I'm feeling miserable.
Yeah, fair enough, man.
Yeah.
What do I watch? It's always funny because like the week before, like my deadline, I always like just get engrossed in like something that's got nothing to do with like what I'm doing. It's like I spend a whole week just watching like a completely new anime or something like that. It's like, damn, I should be doing work right now.
I know it.
Then the next week I'm like, panic time to like do my work.
Oh, dude. I don't know if I think I probably told you. I can't remember. After my hand in, I started watching Peaky Blinders.
I love Peaky Blinders.
Dude.
It's so good. It's actually really good.
Holy moly!
Yeah, man. How far have you gotten?
I finished it.
Did you?
All 4 seasons in 5 days.
Yeah. Oh,
Just bench watched it.
that's crazy.
Dude.
I watched season 3 and 4 in like one weekend.
Right.
That's
But
that
yeah,
was some time ago,
holy
but
Oh
It's so
my
good. Dude, it gets better and better as it goes along.
I
as well.
swear, like
Yeah.
the gradual progression of like being on street mobs to an actual like.
Yeah, I like it, man. I also love some of the cinematography and like also especially in the last 2 seasons and also like the way they do all the coloring and like
Yeah,
for some of the shots.
because the thing is happening in Birmingham, but that exact street is like doesn't look anything like it because those are industrial places.
So is that all just VFX stuff?
I think VFX, and they were recording in Manchester and Liverpool as well,
Oh really?
because where there's like any
okay.
like
Different spots.
industrial Victorian era kind of stuff.
At first, I actually thought that show was like historically accurate, but apparently it's a little bit not.
Yeah, the idea of the guys having the blades in the hat, that was the show. It wasn't historically correct as well.
That would have been cool.
I wonder, dude, that scene like was it first or second episode in the first season?
I think probably the second.
Something like that, when they go by the horse, and then your mom is, I don't know, peep, and then like, so badass. But like those type of like TV series, like I love like Peaky Blinders, Sons of Anarchy, and Vikings. Like historically accurate to an extent, dramatized, and then like human relationships and treaties.
Yeah, man.
Oof.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Like everyone keeps telling me, like, oh, you start watching Game of Thrones. Nah. Sorry, whoever's watching Game of Thrones.
I like Game of Thrones up until about season 4.
Okay, is there something like?
Then I started kind of like getting over it a little bit.
Yeah, and also like
last season, I think it was number 6. I was like,
I don't even know how many seasons there are.
6.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably enough.
Yeah.
At this point, they're just gonna make it worse and worse.
Yeah, and another thing is like I noticed like when I start like bench watching stuff, I watch it to an extent, and then I get bored of it. Like I over. This is gonna sound wrong. Like I over pleasure myself. Like I get I get
Get too much into
I get too much. Yeah. I think I was watching. Was it Black? No, Black Flag is a band. Black Wave or no Black Sails. I think.
Oh, is that the pirate one?
Yeah.
No, sounds cool.
I'm really going to watch the first 2 seasons.
They're on like Amazon?
I think they're on Amazon. Yeah. And then I watched the first 2 seasons, loved it. And I started the 3rd season. I was like, nah, I couldn't be bothered.
Oh no.
Yeah, but like, the 3rd season, like the first 2 seasons were intense, because there's something happening.
Oh, I did that with Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone loves Breaking Bad, and I like it too. But I got up to season 3 and I was like, it can't be awesome.
Same with like In-Betweeners.
Yeah.
No, In-Betweeners. Sorry, Misfits.
Haven't watched that either.
Oh, dude, they're good. Like the proper like, not kids.
What's it about, Misfits?
It's like this young adults, kids, teenagers. Like they're not in prison, but they're like doing community service. And there's like this storm, and they get like superpowers. Yeah, and like they're like there's like chavs and then not chavs, but like that was the wrong term. Well, yeah, like kids with kids with like troubled background and whatnot, but then working together to try to fix stuff and whatnot. And then at certain, I think is it 3rd or 4th season, there's a bit of cast changing. And just it's still good, it's still funny, but not as those first seasons.
Yeah.
But oh well.
Yeah, one of the things I always like doing is like just like when I watch these, just like appreciating like the art and the design behind like all the shots.
Yeah.
And like some of because like it's sometimes it's very easy to ignore.
Yeah.
But then like
but that's like a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like so good that
good
you just
design.
accept it straight away.
Yeah, that's
doesn't
like,
like
good design.
hurt your eye.
Yeah,
Like
it doesn't pop out at you
exactly.
too much.
Yeah.
But then like you look at the behind the scenes, and for something like Breaking Bad, like as the characters change, the kind of colors and stuff like that they change along the season, and that sort of helps you feel different emotions. And I was like, whoa, like that's good.
So there's a lot of thought put into it.
Yeah, it's good.
Boom. Yo. Okay. No. I just remember like we're gonna look up at your art.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm on my page right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you do this? Am I just gonna
put your computer here.
Is this gonna be on the screen like if later on?
Well, yeah, man.
It might be a lot of work to edit actually. But
Nah, don't worry.
Yeah, which one do you want to start with? This is my outstation. So I've got like
Looking good.
it's my current portfolio. There's some hidden work, but
Yeah.
like
Oh,
this one's
dude, I remember when I saw your bedroom.
oh yeah.
And like the character drawings, man. Jesus Christ, you do a lot of.
Was that when was that? Was that
Was-
last year?
Was
This
it
year, was
Wiz's
it?
birthday
Oh, that was last year. Yeah.
last year?
Yeah, I do a lot of drawings. Obviously, gotta
Mm.
gotta practice, man. It's all about.
Yeah.
Practice.
So like, do you go regularly onto those drawing classes?
Yeah,
I think that
I
we
do.
have at uni.
yeah. So like, obviously they're done now because I'm done with like
Yeah.
sad times. But yeah, I went like almost to every single live drawing session. I think I even went to like there was specific ones for games art, and then
Okay.
I went to some of the ones for like fine art, MA fine art, and so
Right.
I kind of snuck into classes I
That's
wasn't
good,
supposed to
like-
be. But yeah, I was trying to get the most out of it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And yeah, I think I've actually improved quite a bit since the
Mhm.
beginning, which is good.
Nice.
Actually, like later on today, there was another like live drawing that's just happening in Norwich. That I was
All
trying
right.
to
No
go
one like studios.
to.
What?
Have you heard 20 Group Norwich?
It rings a bell.
'Cause apparently they're like quite an old like art collective.
Uh-huh.
They do like gallery exhibitions together and stuff like that.
Okay.
And they've got a little live drawing class which I'm gonna try and go to today. If
Nice.
not today, next week. But yeah.
Oh, it's like happening every week and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like I think it's every week. They might have terms. They might have like periods,
Mhm.
but like yeah, I've never been, so I'm just gonna see what's like.
Yeah, man, that's good.
Just keep practicing. It's all about like you know, just developing and like
Pushing
keep-
forward and whatnot.
yeah.
Cool. So let's go eeny meeny miny
Right.
mo.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Shall we start with this one because it's green and it's my favorite color?
Yes, go.
That's my favorite color.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, so it's like I'm a sci-fi guy, hi-fi sci-fi guy.
Nice.
And so like you could say this one is a bit inspired by like the kind of style of something like Mass Effect, where it's
Mhm.
like sort of, good feeling sort of future. It's not like, oh,
Dystopian.
the future's gonna be like, oh, trouble here, dystopian,
Okay.
evil overlord, all that kind of thing. It's more like, hey, we got cool, curvy buildings and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the screen brightness, but
Is it too dark?
don't know.
No. Yeah. What were you gonna say? Go ahead.
But like, it looks because of the white buildings.
Yeah.
It looks kind of utopian. But like
Yeah, man.
the shadows of the trees kind of make it dark.
Mhm.
But I guess it's a positive dark.
Yeah, in some areas.
Yeah.
You gotta have that balance between like
Yeah.
light and dark, positive, negative
Mm.
space, and that kind of thing. That's what I was thinking of. But yeah.
And the kind of foggy background, the
Yeah.
distance.
Yeah.
So how big is the street? I mean,
yeah, it's
if
like,
it was going to be real life,
it's like it's pretty massive. Like I wanted to try and like
yeah,
show.
little avatars living there.
It's kind of Avatar inspired as well.
Damn.
Got a couple other sketches. This is meant to be like actually a little like resort, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So like.
Is this like a train over there?
This is a plane landing on like
Yeah.
a platform, and then people walk up into like I don't know. It's like the lobby or the reception of like this little cool resort place. I don't know. It would be cool to actually sketch out what might be
Yeah,
inside
yeah.
there. But yeah, it's like some cool chill stuff going on.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was just looking on the site. It says concept art, illustration, and banter.
Banter, yeah. I just like to, I don't want to be too serious all the
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to be a little bit serious, so people know that, like, I can do business.
Yes,
man.
you have to be
But
balanced.
at the same
yeah.
time,
Work hard, play hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You get me, man. That's kind of
Ooh.
like the same idea,
Okay.
same sort of world, but like,
Different angle.
yeah. So it's like a resort. But I was trying to see what it would be like if there was different like shape language for the building. So this one is like
Mhm.
nice and curvy, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
that sometimes that says something different to something that's more angular, right?
Right.
So it's kind of just exploring what you could do with the design.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and like, I also wanted to know like how can this building be part of the nature around it. So like this has got a waterfall beneath it. This one's got the waterfall on top of it. Yeah, and then there's like, the color choices, because I just think that nice warm orangey sort of
Mm.
reddish color
Yeah, yeah.
kind of goes well with
And
the
then
green.
this little horizon, I guess, of,
Yeah.
of light brown
Yeah.
merges the warm and the cold.
Mm.
Yo,
Yeah.
wicked.
We should have put more people in that scene. There's just two little guys in the background there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was kind of...
Getting naked to jump under the waterfall.
Yeah. People wearing bikinis everywhere. I'm like,
Mm.
nah. But like, yeah, sometimes it's like, so the process of making this, I'd also use photographs as well as paint strokes and try to blend them so that it doesn't look like one or the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, then that's the thing I was about to ask you is what software do you use for this?
I just use mainly Photoshop because that's like industry standard.
Okay.
But sometimes I use other stuff, like other programs. I'll show you one just now where I used.
Well, this is like in Madagascar. They have those
These big
babao
trees.
trees, I think. Yeah.
These were inspired by, like, well, the general shape from like acacia trees and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because like, in Zimbabwe you get those kind of umbrella-looking acacia trees in parts of like Southern Africa. And stuff
Okay.
like
Nice.
so that's me trying to bring something that I am used to seeing and that I like into the
All right. Lovely.
thing. Yeah. Obviously, my favorite color is just everywhere.
Yeah.
And then that's just some more sketching and
Boom.
developing. Yeah.
Oh, dude, I can't imagine. Have you watched Black Panther? You must have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like the scenes there. I guess like you must have got orgasms from that.
Dude, it was so good. It was very well designed. I love like how they did the stuff with like the black sand.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way technology had like some cool black sand effects going on. That was so cool.
Yeah.
And like the purple, like that savanna landscape.
Mm.
It was like they had the tree and the panthers on the tree. Oh man.
Oh man.
Yeah,
And
that was
the sunset at the end of the movie as well.
Dude, I had shed a little tear.
Yeah, man. You just like sit down
Yeah,
and enjoy.
enjoy his last moments and then just die.
Oh man. All right.
That's what you call good. A moving story is a good story.
Mm.
Yeah, so I'll show you this one. This one's a little different, like in terms of my
Okay.
approach. Like, so with this one, like I was trying to go with a bit more atmosphere.
All right.
That's because like I said, my favorite games are atmospheric, and like so, my favorite paintings are similar.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still obviously learning and developing and practicing, but like
Yeah.
just trying to get that through across here.
Because
So there's meant to be like a little alien landscape.
yeah, I remember Greg and Tom telling me like they were working on like some gaming engines and whatnot.
Yeah, Unreal Engine and stuff like that. That's what we use at uni.
Mm-hmm. Damn. So I guess like this is just like a regular painting, right? And then if you wanted to make it into a game, you would use another software to make it into 3D space and whatnot.
Yeah, so if like this would be the sketch I do before we even start building the game.
Okay, so this
if,
proper
if
conceptual stuff.
Yeah, if somebody says they like this instead of that, right? Then they can start building this in the engine. So
Okay.
we'd probably use like at uni we've learned to use Unreal Engine. I think because that one is not only open source, which means like anyone can use it like right now.
All right.
But it's also good from a creative standpoint because like it's fairly accessible. You don't have to be a coder, and it's got a lot of options for you to like be able to create something that looks really nice,
All
be
right.
it stylized or like real looking. But,
Dang.
yeah. So yeah.
I just remembered for the interchange thing this year. I signed up for ZBrush. Thing. Do you guys use that as well in your course?
We do. We use like. Well, it depends on your specialism, right?
Oh, okay.
So if you're gonna be like an asset or 3D artist,
Okay.
you're probably gonna use ZBrush.
All right, because that's a 3D
Yeah.
modeling.
Yeah. So like 3D sculpting.
Yeah.
So you'd also use Maya or something like that because it's like 3D box modeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the VFX guys also use Maya.
Yeah. Maya is very industry standard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very like probably anyone who does VFX or some sort of CG art was heard of Maya.
Okay.
Yeah. ZBrush is a very interesting one because like it's the role it's trying to fill right now is like more of like trying to be a clay sculpting program, but like digital version of like clay sculpture, which is really cool.
Yeah, I remember one of the tutor who was like organizing that was telling us how it was like it started off being like a regular like Photoshop thing, but then but you had like the layers or like 3-dimensional aspect to it, and so people just instead of working on a 3-dimensional picture, they start working on 3-dimensional object.
Yeah.
I think that's like the history behind it or something.
And
it
used to be a 2D program.
Yeah, it took me some time to like get a hang of it, but once I did, I didn't like want to stop using it.
Do you use it actually? ZBrush?
Well, I'll use the only ones for that workshop at Interchange.
Oh,
but
just for okay. It's a good program, I think.
Yeah, once I like got the hang of it, I made this like circle, like in this ball, and then I started making face out of it.
I feel like if you could learn how to use ZBrush, you could probably learn a lot of other programs, because that one's actually quite hard to learn. In terms of like, because it's quite strange the way some of the like the menus are laid out.
Yeah, there's a lot of shortcuts and jumping, and then
But it's pretty good.
having to increase those points so it looks smoother and whatnot.
Mm.
But yeah, I liked it. I don't know when I could apply it in my practice,
Well, you
but it's definitely a good thing, like a good tool to have. Yeah.
There's all sorts of potential, really.
Mm.
That's a good. How could you apply it to fine art, actually?
And
Does
plus,
get deep,
you seen like my work, what's based on.
Yeah.
I don't know. You never know.
You could create some like organic, because it's good for organic shapes. If
Okay.
if you're gonna do some organic sculpture, maybe. You could. I think you could 3D print something. So if you make a shape,
Yo.
3D print, and then build off of that. Maybe it could help you.
Yo.
Because I imagine if you're gonna carve like a weird geometry, it's gonna take a long time. It's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
So if you use 3D, it might be like.
Well, yeah. People might call that cheating, but it's just another tool.
No, I don't think it's cheating. Because what is art at the end of the day? Is art the skill in your hand, right?
That's
art-
craft. That's craft.
Yeah.
That's craft.
That's craft, right? So
Craftsmanship.
the real art is like what's in your mind as
Exactly.
you make something.
Yeah.
I think. So it doesn't matter what medium you use.
Yeah.
It's like do you like? Is there a purpose behind it? Is there knowledge behind what you're doing and stuff like that? Like that's where the art comes in. Like how do you put
what's
those,
the message behind it as well?
Yeah, how do you put the pieces of the puzzle together? And that's the art.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked about this, didn't we? I can't remember. Like what now? Where will you be?
Oh, I'm actually looking for just a house to rent, like in Norwich, because I'll probably be here as I keep developing my portfolio. And
You said your family's here as well, right?
Well, my grandmother and my uncle live about an hour and a half from here.
Okay.
Yeah, but like the rest of my family is like in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
So, yeah. But they'll be coming to see the degree show and like the graduation on that.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think. I think I won't be here for graduation. Nah, unfortunately. I need to see.
Going back home?
Yeah, I'm going back home as well.
Fair enough, man. Oh, you're not gonna see the degree show, man.
I know.
Oh well, it's okay. That's like one of my favorite things is the degree show. I always go to like all the check out all the courses.
Yeah. Well, if it's not a hustle, you could start streaming the whole event.
Yeah, that might be fun actually. Get a little camera, record it.
Yeah, man.
I just give you the footage or something.
Get a Twitch account. Use your phone to stream
it so that you can watch it.
And then stream on from your phone. Just get like a battery pack thingy so your phone doesn't die. And just get a walking stick, selfie stick.
Oh yeah.
Hey guys, can we smash 1,000 likes? And I'll show you St. George's building.
Yeah, dude, that's very funny. Yeah, that might be fun. Especially since it's my last one. It'd be nice to record. Maybe.
Well, you could. I guess you could come next year as well. I mean, if you're still in UK and whatnot, because I think it's open for public.
I'll probably come as long as I'm in Norwich and like nearby.
Yeah.
Like I just like going and check out art, man. That's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Farewell.
Goodbye. Still got a little bit of that Dr. Pepper.
So when I do this, oh my god.
Oh wait, I didn't tell you the cool thing about this, like the process of this. There's this really cool program that I use to make these. It's called Mandelbulb 3D, and that's kind of like another VFXy tool. Because Mandelbulb 3D is a 3D fractal program. So fractals are
English, please.
Okay, I was gonna explain it. Like fractals are like sort of mathematical shapes. So if you've ever seen those like weird trippy music videos where there's like a shape and you zoom into it and it just like keeps zooming in forever and like so that's kind of what fractal maths is.
Okay.
So basically, it's like that, but it's a 3D version.
Yeah.
So you can, when it generates the weird looking shape, you can like move around it and like sort of see it from different angles and stuff and zoom in, which is pretty cool because you come up with all these weird, crazy organic shapes. You could just do a quick little Google of it. quick little Google. So, man, I'm really slow typing.
That's alright, man.
Yeah. Let's take just a quick look. Yeah. See, look at all this like really crazy abstract shapes. These are all from this Mandelbrot program. So yeah, so you just like when you get the program, you can tweak the numbers on the different formulas.
Okay.
You don't really have to understand the
Oh,
maths.
alright. So
then it
different
just
numbers
generates
generate different like
different shapes. Yeah, different
shapes
numbers,
and density and whatnot.
It's really crazy. I mean, some of the stuff is literally mind blowing. You know, like how does this even get made? And a lot of the time, sometimes it looks like stuff like that might look like a building or something, right? Or sometimes it looks like something from nature, like you know, it could be a plant.
Yeah, what's it called Fibonacci stuff.
Yeah, all sorts of cool organic stuff. Yeah. So I tried using this program. You know, you know, I'm not very used to it, but I think it's interesting. So I tried it out, and I got some weird. Like I wish I could show you the raw initial renders, but like, it was like exploring an environment, and then like I found these cool like diagonal lines, and these interesting shapes. Like if you see like you know, the way the shapes are broken up, like in this little area over here.
Okay, it's like subtle.
Underneath the people, yeah. Yeah, so that was all from the initial 3D fractal.
I'm getting like a feeling that this is underwater. Is it supposed to be underwater?
It's actually not supposed to be. Gotta keep practicing, but like, yeah.
Fair enough.
I think it's just because it's very, very blue and probably very misty. It makes the air feel thick.
Right.
That's probably it, or maybe it's the way the particles are floating. But
yeah, it's like this kind of underwater cave kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then the plants, yeah, because there's no, what do we call this? English.
Are you talking about these things? I mean?
Well, what do flowers have?
It's, petals.
Yeah, that's one. No, it's cool.
Cheers, man.
Cheers. Chug.
So that's how I made these. For this one, I was like combining two different shapes.
Alright.
So the shapes of the leaves actually came from the fractal, and then I painted the rest of the stuff in.
Damn.
Which is interesting. And then this is another big shape that came from the fractal itself. That's why it's got these repeating little patterns down here. Yeah, so I just turned that into a little scene. Somebody walking into this like the mouth of a flower with that like midst and that sort of cool stuff. But yeah.
Damn.
Check out another one. Yeah, I like that kind of cool stuff, man. Just like slightly weird and different, you know.
Yeah.
Not too like, you know, obviously I paint stuff that's meant to look real, but I do also like really like different looking visuals, like abstract, like brush strokes or gestural stuff, you know. Yeah. Yeah. Like
mix of everything. Like this little one pot of everything.
Yeah, I never like to like limit my interests either. Yeah. Because the moment I say, oh, I only like this type of art because that's what I do, then it's like, you know, I can't learn from the other subjects. Yeah. And I can't like expand.
It's good to be a specialist in something, but it's sometimes good to be in, what do you call it, generalist?
Yeah.
If that's a word.
Yeah, be able to like know a wide range of things, but specialize.
Yeah, I was about to, like when you mentioned the bulb thingy.
Metal bulb.
Yeah, I just remembered that scene in Interstellar when you go to the black hole warp thingy with the lines and whatnot. I think Fahim, he was on my previous show, a show episode, but he said like how he really likes that scene, because you know nobody has seen a black hole or any thing in space, right? And so he said like from the VFX aspect, they made that by only looking at the data.
Really?
Yeah, like they had the mathematical numbers and data on that, and then from that they made it into visual. So now when you tell people how does a black hole look like, everyone would use you know that scene Interstellar as a reference. Yeah.
Didn't actually know how much research they would have done for that. That's cool.
Yeah. I think I was watching that movie on my flight to or from when I was going to Tokyo. It was a good movie to keep you awake on the plane.
Really?
Yeah.
Interstellar. I did like that movie. It's quite long, wasn't it? 2 hours.
It was like 2 hours or something.
A friend of another mate of mine, he's interested in this stuff as well. But he told me, have you watched the movie Annihilation?
No, I know the band Annihilator.
No. Well, anyway, this is another sci-fi film.
All right.
Apparently, there's a scene near the end of the film where they actually use fractal geometry to create this weird alien creature. And it's pretty cool. So I'd recommend that film as well.
Okay.
I'll recommend every sci-fi film because I like it. But
okay.
That's an interesting one. Yeah.
All right. Why does Star Wars emit the sound of lasers when there is no sound in space?
Because it sounds cool. That's the only answer. Dude, when it comes to Star Wars, right? Like, I will say I call it like sci-fantasy. Like, it's not, it's, a lot of people would just be like, oh no, it's proper sci-fi. Like, there's no fantasy or whatever. But like, for me, it's like, the differentiation between sci-fi and fantasy is the approach to science, right?
Right, like how much is applied. Yeah,
sort of like the intellectual background. So like with a sci-fi, it'll always sort of make you think. It doesn't have to be like scientifically accurate, but it's a sci-fi for me. It makes me think about something. And Star Wars, it's more like emotional, fantastical, like crazy adventure.
It's kind of dramatized as well.
Yeah. So that's why I call it a sci-fantasy.
All right.
It's got all spaceships, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's like a proper sci-fi. Because it's got the Force as well, which is more like magic than anything. That's why I call it sci-fi. So the rules are just out the window with that one.
But I haven't watched the movie, but I remember like watching some like reviews and whatnot. I can't remember the name either, but it's like this like robot with the like red circle. And then he's like giving orders to this astronaut or something like that, and the whole movie is shot in like dead silence.
Oh yeah, is this Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Google it, please.
I think it is, because is it like? Tell me a little bit more about it.
It was like it's like this like very like monotone robot, and he talks like this, something like that. And there's this like red circle thingy.
It's not this one. Let's go images. This is this red circle.
Think
this is like it had a lot of quiet scenes. Oh, this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
That.
I think it's called
bastard.
Hell, I didn't know. I watched it like about a couple of months ago.
All right.
That's why I remember it so well.
Yeah.
It's so good, dude. This is a movie that will blow your mind a little bit.
All right. Yeah.
Especially the end.
Because in the high school, because I did the IB, my higher level subjects were history, art, and physics, and
that's a nice combination.
Yeah. And so like I was like originally thinking like towards architecture or something, but then I just dropped physics because it's too hard. But the concept of physics and like the possibilities with physics, that's what like I really what I love. Exactly. Yeah. So like at the beginning of any syllabus or any like topic we would start, like the introduction that my teacher would like tell me, like I would remember that, and then everything after that, I would just drop it, like the actual math and whatnot. But yeah,
that actually might be a reason why I got into sci-fi art.
All right.
Because I did like I enjoy science.
Yeah.
Like I could never be asked to do the maths and read and stuff. So I kind of took the route of, well, I'll do space art.
Just imagine stuff.
Yeah, man. But yeah, no, that stuff is always interesting. Yeah, and like the more you know, the more you know.
Yeah.
The more you can like expand what you can do and stuff, And for concept art, it's always good to know stuff. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like chilling.
But this 2001 is a good film.
All right.
Oh, wow, hard hitting. I'm getting flashbacks right now. So
well, I mean, I feel as if like in this last few years, there's been so many movies made about space, and I don't want to be like the crazy conspiracy theorists like this connects to that and everything is involved. But like, there's more and more talk about going to Mars. I think it's kind of being kind of propagated. Like,
oh, you think it's being set up?
Like, well, it's like getting us. Yeah, exactly. Making it like subliminal propaganda in a way.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you think about that? Like going to Mars? Do you think it's a good thing or a bad thing, or you don't care, or what? Because personally, I'm very biased. I'm like, yeah, definitely go to Mars. Yeah.
Yeah, but I would like to stay here,
Yeah.
even though it's going to shit out. Yeah. There's still so many places I haven't seen here.
I mean, like, what about people in general? Like,
but
I don't think I would want to live on Mars forever. That would be very sad. I'd miss all my friends.
the distance for sure, because it takes I don't know how many years to travel. And then because there's so many like challenges in living there. Dust storms, lack of water.
It almost seems too hard, too much effort.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. One small thing goes wrong and it's a bit.
But it might be good to as a solution to overpopulation.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I love that. So if you send, let's say, like a third of all world population to Mars, so you reduce the food consumption on Earth. Yeah. So, excuse me.
We could just do what Great Britain did, like back in the day, and send all the prisoners to Australia.
Well, yeah, this would be like a 21st, 22nd century reincarnation of that. No, but then if you send criminals to Mars, then that's Star Wars in reality.
Yeah, man.
You would have like the rebels and the imperialists and whatnot. I mean, and then like there's been so many like there's this experiment done, like I can't remember, like was it 70s, 80s, 90s or 2000s, I can't remember, but they made like this massive glass house thingy, and they had like a team of researchers trying to like live in that glass house as long as possible.
Oh, shit.
And
like
like
in the desert or something?
something like that, as like a simulation of how it would be in space. And after some, I can't remember for how long they stayed there, but eventually like they like started like arguing or something, like it's just like in human nature to make conflict and whatnot.
Was it like a small group or something?
Something like that. Like there was something that like stopped it, like just couldn't work, And to what extent, can you push these things?
If you send only like 5 people, then they don't like each other. It might not be good.
But I mean, I was thinking about it. Like, was it today or yesterday? Just like on the subject of getting angry, right? So let's say utopian society, we have set of rules that you live by in order to be happy, right? The moment someone breaks that, and if you feel strong about those rules, you will get offended if someone breaks them. Yeah. And then that's the most internal. It just sparks hatred, doesn't it? So no matter how nice everything is, there's always going to be that feeling of anger. Yeah. You might not want. Okay, that doesn't mean you're going to start fighting it straight away, but you will feel.
Yeah. If they cross that line, that rule that you have, that's interesting. You've got to make sure everyone is good friends.
No, send everyone to space and give them a marijuana leaf, like marijuana bud. Yeah. Everyone.
They should grow marijuana on Mars, dude. It'll be the best.
Problem solved.
Yeah. It's not illegal on Mars, right?
Exactly. Yeah, maybe the conditions there are good,
It grows well in dry conditions as well. So.
Exactly, man.
Yeah, man.
Just get everyone high and everyone like chilling.
That's probably the best way to populate Mars.
We go through weed.
Just say weed is free and legal there. Everyone just be like, yep. Okay.
The whole Netherlands just moves. Mars, the New Amsterdam of the world.
Dude, that would be cool.
I mean, yeah, why not?
Yeah. I was watching there's this series that I really like called The Expanse. If you've ever heard of it.
Nah, what's that about?
It's like in the future, obviously, where like humanity has conquered Mars. So they've got like Mars is now its own country, Earth is like its own country, and then like there's people in the asteroid belt or some stuff like that. And it's interesting because like there's politics between the worlds and stuff like that, and like all the people from Mars because it's like a harsh environment. They're all very serious people. They're like,
Mhm.
I worked hard for my life and all that.
Yeah.
And all the people on Earth are like rich and spoiled and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Interesting, man.
Damn.
Just to think about what it could be like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's so many ways and possibilities that things could go at any moment. You know.
Fingers crossed that space travel is a thing.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
I think that was it last year that the movie came with Chris Pratt and then Lawrence, what's her name?
Oh, is that the really weird one?
Like when they're like they wake up in the middle of
Yeah.
space travel and they don't.
Passengers.
Yeah, Passenger.
Dude,
I haven't watched it,
I haven't
but
watched it.
like the questioning, like, you know, what would happen or something.
yeah, I don't know why, dude. I know all these films that I haven't watched.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Uh,
But yeah, that's weird because like
so like things are like in space is like light years,
yeah,
and that's measurement of distance, which is
it's like a long haul.
it takes a year for a light to travel.
Oh man,
Yeah.
'cause in the movie, I think they spend their whole lives like once they've woken up, like they're traveling for their whole lives.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's pretty.
So like if we were going to go to outer like just like to get from one end to another end of our galaxy is going to take I don't know how many generations of humans, and that's just the galaxy, and the whole universe is multiple galaxies.
Yeah, that's
So-
it's crazy. You'd never be able to explore the whole universe.
You know. Oh, another question, right? Before we can start wrapping stuff up, do you believe in aliens?
Ooh, good question. Well, I'm kind of a little bit nowhere when it comes to like, do I believe in aliens?
All right.
Because it's like I accept the fact that there's a possibility, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we haven't, well, you know, some people have seen aliens. I haven't seen aliens. I don't know if it's real. So you know, I accept the fact that most of space I don't know anything about.
Yeah.
So maybe there's like some other Earth too there, and there's some weird green people there. You know.
Yeah.
So you know, but you know, if there isn't, that would be very sad. But I'd also be able to accept that at the same time. Like, you know, maybe we are special, or maybe we're just like a weird anomaly. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. The real question is there a creator? That's a real tough.
Yeah.
I can't answer that one either. But it's like, you know.
Well, I mean, one of the things a good friend of mine said back in Saudi was any bacteria on another planet
That could be
is an alien. Would
yeah, it is. That's
like a living creature, you know, that's extraterrestrial,
Mm-hmm.
not on planet Earth, is an alien. Like as long as there's the biological conditions, or maybe there's a whole another biological living thing. They, you know, people like they're not made out of carbons and hydrogens like we are, but out of some other
Antimatter or something.
yeah, like exactly, the
Yeah.
dark matter.
Yeah.
Like,
That's crazy.
Yeah, like for example, like I think.
Isn't there like 5 different types of life? I think.
What do you mean? What's that?
So you've got like, what is it? Bacteria, fungi, viruses, and like I don't know, animals and prototists. You know, science stuff, man.
Yeah,
But
biology.
like there's like 5 different classes, like how you can put life forms into those classes. So maybe it's like a 6th or a 7th class or whatever.
Possibly.
Yeah, wait, I think actually there's 7. I don't know. Someone who knows biology can like whatever.
Write it down in the comments below. Hit us up.
Yeah. But that could be cool. That could be real trippy. Like something you just maybe the aliens are already here, but like we can't even detect them because like, you know.
Yeah, completely like different.
The lizard people they're controlling the government, dude. I saw that little twinkle in the president's eye. It's like he's a lizard man.
Fucking Mark Zuckerberg.
He's an alien. He's an alien, dude.
Wait.
Yeah. The last ASMR sip.
But yeah, dude, thank you so much for.
Man, it's been great.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, man. It's like
Cheers,
it's
man.
been pretty fun.
Yeah. Hi guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that like button, and you can check out some of my other videos as well. Thanks for watching.